at 9. I am Susan Achin. The headlines: Benue State awards contract for Achoho Awaji Oju Roads. Former military governor of Benue State, Air Vice Marshal Adebayo Lawal, passes on. On the international scene, UNICEF says millions of children going hungry in Sudan. Benue State government has listed some roads in Oju and Obi areas among critical infrastructure to be constructed in the present administration. Governor Hyacinth Alia announced this alongside award of contracts for the construction of Achoho Awaji to Oju, which would be assisted by the federal government. Correspondent Emmanuel Akula has the details of this report.
As the thank you tour of local government areas across the state continues, Governor Hyacinth Alia arrives the first port of call in Benue South geopolitical zone, comprising Oju, Obi Federal constituency. Royal fathers and people of the area receive the governor, who informs them that his presence is simply to express gratitude to them for the overwhelming support during the 2023 elections that led to him becoming governor of the state. This mandate, Governor Hyacinth Alia vows to protect while delivering dividends of democracy to the people. He seizes the opportunity to inform the people of plans to affect development projects in the areas, including construction of some roads and demarcation of boundaries in Igede land to address land disputes and insecurity in the area. He expresses disappointment over fighting and killing over land. The governor announces a word of contract for the construction of Achoho Awaji to Oju Road with assistance from the federal government.
My aim of visiting with you today is simply to say thank you. You did something so amazing when I came out and pleaded with you to send me to represent you as your governor. You gave me the number during elections, the votes no other governor has ever received in Benue State.
Member representing Oju Federal constituency, David Ogeu, that of Oju 2 State constituency, Suri Ekong, Commissioner for Science, Technology and Renewable Energy, Nick Eworo, described the governor's store as unique, encouraging him not to waver as the people of Igede land stand in support of his administration. The opinion leaders say they are trusting the governor to put an end to the land and security issues in the area and appeal to him to always carry them along in appointments and projects.
We need nothing else than to be happy. To us, we have to be saying to the governor, thank you for what he's doing. He gave us 2 slots of commissioners that never happened before. He gave us 2 special advisors. These are rare privileges. So we have to say to him, thank you.
Over 500 decampees from other political parties are received into the APC during the visit. Emmanuel Akula, Benue Vision News, Makudi.
Well, as part of efforts to revive the Igumale Cement Company, Benue State government has approved the construction of Igumale to Aguila Road. Governor Hyacinth Alia announced this Saturday at Okpoga during his visit to Okpoku, Ado and Ogbadibo Federal constituency. Again, correspondent Emmanuel brings us this report.
One of the campaign promises of Governor Hyacinth Alia to the people of Benue State is taking deliberate steps to revive moribund industries to create employment opportunities and improve the economy of the state. In this recent move, the governor awarded a contract for construction of Igumale to Aguila Road in preparation for the arrival of investors to begin production at the Igumale Cement Factory. This is in addition to his announcement of installation of a 500 kilowatt transformer and solar lights in Okpoga to tackle the challenge of electricity in the area. Governor Alia says he is interfacing with the caretaker chairman of Okpoku, Ado and Ogbadibo, for more projects in the areas, particularly roads linking the 3 local governments.
Benue people have suffered so much. In the last 83 years, as a serving priest in the bushes, local places, I know the pains. I know the sufferings. I know what is the trouble with our people. And this is why you voted me one of your own to come out here and be your voice and be your active working governor. Those who work to receive their salaries at the end of the month, receive it without stopping.
Former Senate President Senator Mebute, Deputy Speaker of the Benue State House of Assembly Ladidan Lamin, and caretaker chairman for Okpoku Douglas Omale are among prominent sons and daughters of the area who are on ground to witness the event. They feel the governor's visit is a feedback mechanism to connect with the yearnings of the people to serve them better. They agree that the Reverend Father has demonstrated commitment of his administration to serve the people and assure him of the support of the people of Onone because of his giant strides in office within a short time.
And Onone people are happy with you. Most especially, we want to thank you for the support you have given to the women gender. We want to appreciate you, most especially you from the Onone. A lot of women from Onone have benefited from your government. The youth of Onone have benefited from your government. The people of Onone are saying thank you, and we are like Oliver Twist. We cannot get tired to ask for more. We are asking, Your Excellency, sir, we know you can never be tired to do more. The next appointment, Your Excellency, we are begging to consider our youth so that they can move from the streets.
Acting chairman of the All Progressives Congress APC in Benue State, Benjamin Omakono, receives members of other political parties who defect into the APC. Emmanuel Akula, Benue Television News, Makudi.
Well, in another development, Benue State Governor Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia has pronounced immediate building of classroom blocks and hostels at the Benue State Rehabilitation Center, AP. Governor Alia made the pronouncement Monday when he paid an unscheduled visit to the school. According to the governor, the deliberate move is to address challenges of accommodation and provide a suitable learning environment for the students. Correspondent Emmanuel has this report.
Indeed, there is ability in disability. These are people living with disabilities undergoing rehabilitation at AP in Makudi. Governor of Benue State, Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia, while returning from his thank you tour from Otukpo, takes a turn to the rehabilitation center to inspect its facilities. The governor has conducted round the school and shown dilapidated structures, including hostels and classrooms. He expresses total dissatisfaction with the present condition of things at the school, promising to commence immediate renovations and effective feeding of the students. He says his desire is to ensure the education and training of citizens, and so pronounces immediate commencement of work on 2 hostels, classroom block, drilling of 2 boreholes, a dining hall, and installation of solar lights at the center to improve the learning and living conditions of the students. The state chief executive directs his commissioner for health and human services to supply insecticide mosquito-treated nets to the school and to ensure that doctors commence work at the facility to attend to the health needs of the students. Governor Alia wants the students to be diligent in their studies to learn skills, assuring them that his government will do everything possible to give them comfort.
Everything. Give them comfort. I love them so much.
The Executive Secretary, Benue State Rehabilitation Board, Alexander Makindev, presented school plan to the governor, calling his attention to the dilapidated infrastructure and the need to urgently address challenges facing the school. The Benue State Rehabilitation Center AP has over 200 students undergoing rehabilitation. Emmanuel Akula, Benue Television News, Makudi.
In part two, after the break, Benue State Governor Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia mourns the death of a former military governor.
Benue Fashion Show Season 3 is here.
It's that time of the year for fashion designers, entrepreneurs, and fashion enthusiasts to shine.
This year, sale of forms for the competition begins from 15th April to 30th June 2024.
Pick a form at Benue Television, located at Special Duties Wing, Government House, Makudi. Form costs 5,000 naira only.
Stage 1 screening begins on the 6th of July 2024. Great prizes await you.
The first prize, 1 million naira. Second prize, 500,000 naira. And third prize, 300,000 naira. All prizes are inclusive of cash and fashion tools. Also, consolation prizes and gift items.
For sponsorship, partnership and inquiries, please call Benue TV Marketing on 0906 188 9838 or 0703 794 5569.
Benue Fashion Show,
embracing fusion fashion.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Benue Television News at 9. Benue State Governor Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia mourns the death of a former military governor of Benue State, Air Vice Marshal Adebayo Lawal, retired, who died in the early hours of Sunday, June 23rd, 2024, at the age of 83. Governor Alia, in a message of condolence signed by his Chief Press Secretary Teso Kula, describes the late military governor as someone who played a huge role of overseeing the peaceful transition from military rule to democratic rule in Benue State, ensuring a smooth handover to the late Aparaku, the first civilian governor of the state. He says that the late Lawal, who was also a one-time Minister of Youth and Sports, will be fondly remembered as a dedicated military officer and a great businessman and a philanthropist. While praying to God to give his immediate family, the people of Benue and Kwara states, the fortitude to bear the great loss, Governor Alia also prays to God to grant the late Lawal eternal rest. Well, according to the governor's spokesperson, the state government delegation led by the Deputy Governor Dr. Sam Ode has gone to Lagos to physically condole with the family of the late Lawal, who has since been buried according to Islamic rites. Recall that the late AVM Lawal was the military governor of Benue State from July 1978 to October 1979. Meanwhile, in an effort to encourage farming activities and the usage of social media to promote agriculture in Benue State, the center leader, Benue State University Center for Food Technology and Research, CEFTA, Professor Barnabas Ikyo, and his wife, Dr. Patience Achakpakyo, Monday distributed over 15 knapsack sprayers to the winners of the just concluded knapsack sprayers giveaway at Atorotu Plaza in Makudi. A correspondent Naishu Dam was there and brings us this report.
Groups and individuals have continued to put efforts in place to encourage agricultural practices to curtail hardship and promote food security. One of such efforts is the distribution of over 15 knapsack prayers to some youth in Benue State. Through competitive social media crusade championed by the center leader, Benue State University Center for Food Technology and Research, CEFTA, Professor Barnabas Ikyo, and his wife, Dr. Patience. Shortly after the distribution, Professor Ikyo said the aim was to empower individuals in any little way to support food security and help youth see agriculture as a hunger eradicating tool and a business investment sector.
I decided to make it a promotional activity on Facebook so that more people will see that, oh, so young people are also into farming. I asked them to do a farm activity, make a video and post, not just post things that are funny. And they did that, and we have selected from these huge applicants or contestants, to choose from them, and the judges have done a good work to give. We need to promote agriculture from the food basket of the nation, and we hope that by so doing, youth will be engaged, there will be food on the table for people to eat, and there will be money.
Chief Judge of the competition, who is also an advocate of agriculture in Tiv land, Reverend Father Mfativdo, expressed appreciation to Professor Iko and his wife, while calling on other well-meaning individuals to emulate the kind gesture.
No sane man can hate farmers and farming. So it's something that must be encouraged, something that must be promoted. We have left this very important thing lying there. And when people like this come up to encourage, I'm so happy. And he wanted this very quiet and silent. I told him that no, we can't have this like that. It must be made like this so that our senior brothers, others who have it too, let them learn to do a thing like this.
Some beneficiaries, Comrade Barnabas Gbanwan and Rita Aruta, expressed joy, saying the exercise was a moral booster in their farming activities.
It's not easy for farmers to afford these herbicide and other farming goods. It's not easy. So bring these initiatives to help young people. It's something that is worthy to appreciate.
I am so excited. I am so happy. Thank you. May God bless you. I feel like just screaming to the whole world, like you empower the whole world.
The over 10 beneficiaries of the knapsack sprayers had participated in a very competitive social media agricultural promo and came top to qualify. Fidelia Zashaondu, Benue Television News, Makurdi.
In part 3, after the break, 257 property belonging to the Benue State government, which were sold to private bodies from 2015 to 2023, have been discovered. We'll bring this and much more after this break. Please stay with us.
Benue Fashion Show Season 3 is here.
It's that time of the year for fashion designers, entrepreneurs, and fashion enthusiasts to shine.
This year, sale of forms for the competition begins from 15th April to 30th June 2024.
Pick a form at Benue Television, located at Special Duties Wing, Government House, Makurdi. Form costs 5,000 Naira only.
Stage 1 screening begins on the 6th of July 2024. Great prizes await you.
The first prize, 1 million Naira. Second prize, 500,000 Naira. And third prize, 300,000 Naira. All prizes are inclusive of cash and fashion tools. Also, consolation prizes and gift items.
For sponsorship, partnership and inquiries, please call Benue TV Marketing on 0906 188 9838 or 0703 794 5569.
Benue Fashion Show,
embracing fusion fashion.
Welcome back. This is Benue Television News at 9. Moving on, 257 property belonging to the Benue State government, which were sold to private bodies from 2015 to 2023, have been discovered not to have records or proof of payment to show evidence of the transactions. This was made known on before the Commission of Inquiry investigating the monetary worth of the property and whether due process was followed in their sale and lease. The Director, Bureau Services Office of the Head of Service, Mark Luga, who presented the list of the property, however, could not provide the documents for their sales, saying he was new on the sit and did not have access to what transpired during the period. He explained that the assets, comprising mostly of layouts, were required to be developed for the welfare of civil servants, adding that detailed information of their sales are vested with the management committee headed by the Head of Service. Well, after extensive drills, Council representing the state government, Victor Nyamtamen, urged the panel to adjourn sitting to enable the witness go and look for documents to present them before the court. Chairman of the commission, retired Justice Apollos Idi, adjourned to 4th of next month for continuation of hearing. Meanwhile, a memorandum on the concession of modern market was also presented by a legal practitioner, Dr. Vanen Antom, on behalf of the consortium, arguing that the market was among the 25 government entities that were advertised for sale before a court injunction restrained the action, but the consortium was already on the side. Similarly, the quest for justice for the gruesome murder of a young man, TV Zivi, of Pass Brother Community Igboka Road in Guma local government area of Benue State, has led to the arrest of a man, Joseph Awa. According to security sources, Mr. Awa was remanded at the Makudi Correctional Center as a suspect who comes from the same community as the victim. The suspect was arraigned before a Makudi Magistrate Court for offense of criminal conspiracy, culpable homicide, and act of terrorism by police. A prosecuting officer, Inspector Godwin Atto, informed the court that the suspect, with others still at large, armed themselves and invaded the house of the victim on the 30th of last month at night, during which they shot sporadically through the window of his bedroom, forcing him to come out, and was eventually killed while the wife watched helplessly. A phone belonging to one of the attackers was recovered from the scene of the crime, and during investigation it was discovered it belonged to Mr. Joseph Awa, leading to his arrest by police. In his ruling, the presiding judge, Justice Kelvin Mbatomon, gave an order that the suspect be remanded at the correctional center pending determination of the suit. The matter was adjourned to 28 August 2024 for further mention. We now shift our attention to members of Mbatoho community Makudi, who have pleaded with the government to intensify efforts in ensuring peace returns to their land so that they can go back to farms. The pleas come in a day after the community in the early hours of Monday staged a peaceful protest on the island of Mbatoho. Correspondent Martha Iku tells us more.
Leaders of the Mbatoho community, after a peaceful protest by members of the community in the area, are here in the office of the Special Advisor to the Benue State Governor on Security and Internal Affairs, Joseph Ha, to voice out their pains to the governor. When after the order, the village head Tionongo Gunto and a woman from the community, Grace Agema, all said they have been chased from their farms by the herdsmen who have been grazing on their farms, making it difficult for them to go to farm. They are calling for government intervention. Another member of the community, Otave Ephraim, says although the governor has tried to ensure the relative peace, they are asking for more government efforts.
This time around, we're being chased by the herdsmen over 12 years. We could not be access to our ancestral home, that is in Mbatoho Island. So my appreciation will not be left out. If for me to appreciate the recent governor, His Excellency Hyacinth Iomem Alia, as the name implies, really we are about to mem, that is mem in Tiv language, or to rest. So we have started resting. However, we cannot be able to do our agricultural activities. We are pleading to him to double his effort.
The Special Advisor on Security and Internal Affairs, Joseph Ha, who received the community leaders, assured that the government will wade into the situation.
So I had a closed door meeting, and we'll be doing 1 or 2 reports to His Excellency. During the meeting, one very important thing that happened is the appreciation. They appreciate this government so much for the efforts they're making, even though they're asking for more. They identify and recognize the importance of, the benefit of this government.
Mbatoho community is an island around Wadata in Makudi local government area of Benue State. Martha Iku, Benue Television News, Makudi.
Let's now join Ochanya Adagi for Business News Update.
And on Business Today, business registrations possible in 24 hours, says CAC ambassador. BDC's operators delays compliance with CBN recapitalization order. The ambassador for the Corporate Affairs Commission, Michael Nwabufo, said businesses' registration can now be completed within 24 hours through the new special registration portal. Speaking to newsmen in Lagos on Monday, he urged businesses owners to take advantage of the innovation and beat the July 7th deadline for mandatory business registration set by the CAC and the Central Bank of Nigeria. According to Nwabufo, the portal enables businesses to register and receive documentations within a day. There is a crucial deadline for agents and FATTech companies to register their businesses. Compliance is mandatory under the new regulatories aimed at enhancing transparency and accountability within the financial sector. The deadline ends on July 7th. To facilitate this, the CAC has introduced a special registration portal, SRP, a new system enabling businesses to complete their registration directly through their mobile banking apps. This innovation streamlines the process, making it quicker and more convenient for agents to comply with the regulatory requirements, the CAC ambassador said. He encouraged businesses owners to take advantage of the SRP immediately to ensure timely registration and avoid any potential penalties for non-compliance. Bureau de Change operators in the country have yet to comply with the new guidelines for the operations released by the Central Bank of Nigeria 3 weeks ago. The newsmen findings have shown the President Association of Bureau de Change Operators of Nigeria, Aminu Kwandebe, told the newsmen that the non-compliance by the BDCs was due to a lack of clarity on the guidelines issued by the central bank, according to Gwandebe, correspondent to the CBN seeking clarity on the implementation of the guidelines had not been responded to, the APCON president said. We don't have clarity for the existing BDCs. What we expect the CBN to do is to tell them to come and recapitalize. And that's all our package on Business Today. Many thanks for watching. I'm Ochanya Adagi. Do stay tuned for the rest of our bulletin.
Thanks, Ochanya. Well, the head of the United Nations Children's Agency, UNICEF, Catherine Russell, says Sudan is one of the worst places in the world for children. That is from the international scene. We'll give you details of this after this break. We'll be right back.
Benway Fashion Show Season 3 is here.
It's that time of the year for fashion designers, entrepreneurs, and fashion enthusiasts to shine.
This year, sale of forms for the competition begins from 15th April to 30th June 2024.
Pick a form at Benway Television, located at Special Duties Wing, Government House, Makudi. Form costs 5,000 Naira only.
Stage 1 screening begins on the 6th of July 2024. Great prizes await you.
The first prize, 1 million Naira. Second prize, 500,000 Naira. And third prize, 300,000 Naira. All prizes are inclusive of cash and fashion tools. Also, consolation prizes and gift items.
For sponsorship, partnership and inquiries, please call Benway TV Marketing on 0906 188 9838 or 0703 794 5569.
Benway Fashion Show,
embracing fusion fashion.
Welcome back. Glad you're still with us on Benway Television News at 9. We'll now move on to the international scene, where the head of the United Nations Children's Agency, UNICEF, Catherine Russell, says Sudan is one of the worst places in the world for children. Ms. Russell says it now has the largest displacement of children anywhere, With millions facing malnutrition and most not in school, she is traveling to the country torn apart by more than a year of brutal civil war as warnings of famine grow louder. The pillars of Sudan's food economy have collapsed, and both warring parties, the Sudanese army and a paramilitary group called the Rapid Support Forces (RSF), are restricting the delivery of desperately needed aid. Our children were at the sharp end of this hunger crisis, Ms. Russell told the BBC while en route in Nairobi. 9 million don't get enough to eat regularly, and nearly 4 million face acute malnutrition. Earlier this month, the food security expert who spoke to newsmen said that by September, Sudan's population will be extremely hungry. The Sudanese armed forces and RSF have divided the country roughly in two and plunged it into a humanitarian catastrophe. The army has restricted access for food deliveries across conflict lines into areas controlled by the RSF. RSF fighters are accused of widely plundering resources and have been besieging a city of nearly 2 million people, El Fasher, for more than a month. Ms. Russell said she couldn't speak to whether they were using hunger as a weapon of war, but added that the crisis was 100 man-made, adding that Sudan had the highest number of displaced children in the world. 5 million who are in danger of becoming a lost generation that could contribute to a future instability. But the research on a UN appeal for calm in El Fasher was ignored, and U.S. efforts to restart peace talks have so far failed. Meanwhile, after a years-long legal saga, WikiLeaks says that founder Julian Assange has left the UK after reaching a deal with US authorities that will see him plead guilty to criminal charges and go free. Mr. Assange, 52, was charged with conspiracy to obtain and disclose national defense information. For years, the U.S. has argued that the WikiLeaks files, which disclose information about the Iraq and Afghanistan wars, endangered lives. He spent the last 5 years in a British prison from where he was fighting extradition to the U.S. According to CBS, the BBC's U.S. partner, Mr. Assange will spend no time in U.S. custody and will receive credit for the time spent incarcerated in the U.K. Assange will return to Australia, according to a letter from the Justice Department. WikiLeaks says on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, that Mr. Assange left Belmarsh prison on Monday after 1,901 days in a small cell. He was then released at Stansted Airport during the afternoon, where he boarded a plane and departed the UK to return to Australia. The deal, which will see him plead guilty to one charge of the Espionage Act, is expected to be finalized in a court in the Northern Mariana Island on Wednesday, 26 June. The remote Pacific Islands, a U.S. Commonwealth, are much closer to Australia than U.S. federal courts in Hawaii or the continental U.S. Let's now join Loretta Alcor for weather report.
This weather report. The unsettled weather will become very cloudy with risk of rain falling at the start of the morning and evening period, with mist and fog at night hours over parts of Makurdi, Otiko, Roku, Kasinala, with the temperature varying between 23 degrees Celsius low and 30 degrees Celsius high, humidity of 65% with 59% probability of precipitation. In the Federal Capital Territory, the weather will be very cloudy with risk of thunder outbreaks and rain falling during the day, with risk of mist and fog in the evening towards the night hours. Temperatures low around 23 degrees Celsius and high around 30 degrees Celsius. In Sokoto State, the very cloudy sky will become more unsettled during the day, with possibility of rain falling at night hours. Temperatures low around 29 degrees Celsius and high around 40 degrees Celsius. That's it from here. Join us again for another weather package. I am Loretta.
Thanks, Loretta. Well, that brings us to the end of the news. But before we go, let's take another look at the top stories. The headlines we saw that Benue State has awarded contracts for Achaho Awaji Oji roads. We also saw that former military governor of Benue State, Air Vice Marshal Adebayo Lawal, has passed on. And the international scene, UNICEF has said millions of children going through hunger in Sudan. Well, that was Benue Television News at 9. Thanks for watching. I am Susan Achin. Good morning.